confession to make. I barely remember what happened in episode 3 and 4, so we'll see how smooth this episode goes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the recap slash sharing thoughts slash opinions of Queen's Gambit, the miniseries on Netflix. How are you doing today? Yes, I'll pause to wait for your response. Oh, that's great. Or not. I hope you are hydrated. I hope you slept enough. I hope you are doing your schoolwork. If not, I hope you do that in the future. Just taking care of yourself. So a little announcement. This episode is only going to go up. I mean, you'll know because it will be up then. But this week, I'm going to do what I watched this month because it is like Saturday is the end of November. So I thought it would be fun to just do a recap of what I watched this month. I didn't watch a lot of movies, but I did watch a couple of TV shows, so I thought I would include that in the episode. So I'm recording this one first, and then I'll record that one either after this or tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow, because I don't think I'll have the energy to do it after. But yeah. Don't know what to say now. I don't have an introduction. But yeah, I don't. So the episode 3 and 4 of Queen's Gambit, I watched on Friday, and I don't know what happened. I don't know. Like, I was paying attention because I obviously had to take notes, but I think I was a bit distracted because I had an assignment due that day, like a group assignment, and we had to finish it like at night and hand it in at midnight as well. So that was a lot of stress. So that was also on my mind. I hate group projects. If I could pick working in a group or working by myself, I'd obviously pick working by myself. But I digress and we move on. So I have Wikipedia and the summary of the episodes to assist me today because I barely remember all the like small details. Like, I remember the big stuff. Like, I know there's a moment in episode 3 that I really enjoyed and that I want to like talk in depth about. But the other stuff I don't really remember. And in episode 4 as well, there was like one moment that stood out to me. So we'll see how I recap the episodes going forward. And should I talk about how I was wrong with my predictions, or should I leave that for the end? I think I'll leave that for the end and my comment about the series at the end as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying the show so far. These weren't like standout episodes for me. I think those are gonna come on later. But so far, as a coming up kind of story, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy our main character. She's very tenacious. Is that the correct word? I mean, I could Google and save myself the embarrassment. But she's very go-getter. I like what I like. I'm gonna do what I like. And I'm gonna figure it out. But I don't have anything else to add. I think we can just dive into the recap of the episodes. Episode 3 and 4. Episode 3's name is Double Pawns. Oh, before I do start, I do want to mention how in these two episodes I didn't really notice much about and like any difference in the camera work or the lighting. It felt very neutral and the same throughout. So I think maybe I was looking too much into it in the first couple of episodes. Like the first 2 episodes. But we still follow her around at her perspective and what she's doing, which is understandable because it is a novel and it was probably told from her perspective as well. and she didn't know what everyone else was doing. But yeah, episode 3, double pawns. Pawns? Double pawns? I don't know. We start off, so I was right about this. We start off with a montage of her doing tournaments with her mother. I was wrong about her mother, and we'll get to that at the end of episode 4. But yeah, they go around America and she's playing tournaments. Her mother's watching her and being really impressed. And then she asked for a commission, an agent's commission of like, I think she said 10%. And then Beth was like, no, I'll give you 15. I was like, okay, get your bag, queen. And they do that for a while. And see, this is where my memory gets hazy because I don't remember what happens afterwards. Oh, right. So Beth is kind of a celebrity at this point because she's been like featured in newspapers and magazines, and she's been missing school a bunch. But like when she gets back to school, there are a bunch of students around her asking for her autograph, and just like kind of praising her. And she's just kind of a celebrity at this time. And I don't really know if she enjoys that kind of aspect of it, or if it's just like, okay, whatever, I'll just do this and then go about my day. They don't really explore that. But I mean, at uh, whatever age she is, 16, 17, 18, I'm sure she was like actually feeling herself and actually really enjoying being in the limelight. But she was also just really focused on chess as well. Like she just had like a one track mind. But yeah, I don't know. We didn't really go into in depth into that part. But at the same time, when she is at school, she gets invited to a society club. What was it called? The Apple Pies? I think it was the Apple Pies. Anyway, yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. She gets invited to the leader's house. I don't remember her name, but she gets there. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but they talk about it in the first episode, like the first girl that she really interacts with. She says, oh, I really wish to get invited to so and so's society. And Beth's like, how do you get in? And you're like, you have to be invited in. And Beth gets invited in this episode. So she goes to her house, and the girls are busy like bombarding her with questions about the different states and what they like. And then one of the girls asks her, oh, have you actually like, I don't know if it's like made out or just like hung out with one of the chess guys or something, but she's just really interested in her relationship status and what the chess guys are like. And Beth's like, there's not really much time for that. I just can concentrate on chess. And she's like, oh, okay, of course you do. Like, not believing her. And Beth is just like, okay, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but I know it's true. Then something interesting happens. The girls switch on the TV and they start listening to this popular song, I'm sure at that time, and they sing along. And you see the camera focus on Beth, and she just like looking around. And at first I thought, oh, maybe she's like, oh, this is this kind of stuff I missed out on, and I wish I could go back and do this. But then you quickly realize that like, no, Beth is not that kind of person. She knows she's not really girl. She's not really impressed with what she is seeing from her peers. So she is quite judgmental of them and what they like. Um, she's like, okay, you could be doing something better with your time, and that's what I kind of picked up. As she kind of stood up and left. Um, and as she was leaving, she stumbles upon the liquor cart of the house, and we don't see what happens after that. She just leaves. We see her get out of the house, and then we see it cuts to her in her bedroom, and we see that she actually stole a bottle of alcohol. And I think this is the first sip or taste that she has had of alcohol. Like she's been around, like her mother, obviously her adoptive mother, she's seen her drink constantly, but I don't think she's ever actually thought of drinking herself as well. So I think this is the first start of her addiction that we see. um would I say that she was unimpressed, or she just thought that she didn't have much in common with the girls her age? I'm just thinking about it now. Like, was she thinking, oh, you could be doing something better with your time? Or was she thinking, okay, but like, how am I going to interact with these girls, because I don't know the music that they know, and I don't know the boys that they know. So why would I, what would we have to talk about? I'm just thinking about that. But after she swipes the alcohol and drinks that, we cut to her in 1966, right? Yeah, yeah, 1966, and she is in Las Vegas. Side note, I just want to mention that her mom has like been having these coughs sporadically throughout the show, and like getting sick quite often, and that comes back again, like again in episode 4, so we'll talk about that later on. But she is in Las Vegas. She's going to be playing in another tournament. Is it the US something? The US Open. Not the World Championship, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so she's there, and this is the first time that we see Benny, Thomas's character, Benny, the like great chess champion. And the first thought that I had when we saw him, I immediately went, "Oh, you look like a cowboy." He had like this hat. Excuse me. He had this hat on and this very long leather coat. And I think he had boots on, and I think he had like jeans on. I was like, okay, cowboy, you can calm down with the outfit. And he had like a really terrible beard. Every time like I comment on, I don't know if it was like the actor's personal choice or if that's what he actually looked like, um, or how he was described in the books. But yeah, he just looked eccentric. He looked different from everyone else. But before I like go on, I wanted to mention a like the key point that I really liked. Or should I mention it at the end? I'm gonna mention it at the end. So after she meets Benny, she runs into Towns, learned his name, the brunette man that she met at her first tournament, that took an interest in her. Still don't like him. But yeah, she runs into him. He's not playing in the US Open, but he is there to cover it. And he asked her to go up to his room and to take pictures and play chess. And she's like, okay. Um, so they go up to his room. He takes pictures. They play chess, and like it seems like something's about to happen. But as the tension like grows, someone interrupts them, like another man. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he enters the room. He's like, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb. Didn't know you had a guest." He says he's going to the pool. He gets changed. He comes back. He's like, "Bye, going to the pool." And then Beth has this like realization. It's like, "Oh, okay. So you're not into me. I get it now." So again, misjudgment on my part. I thought he was a sleazy, creepy dude. I don't know. He might come back and be that in later episodes, but right now I don't think we have anything to worry about. Or maybe we do. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm keeping a vigilant eye on him because I just don't trust any type of man. So, also, couldn't this be considered another sort of type of rejection of a man that Beth has experienced? of a man that she wanted, but a man that didn't want her. Or again, am I just looking too far into it? But yeah, no, she leaves his hotel room, gets back to. Does she run into Benny first, or then get back to? No, no, no. I think she runs into Benny. I'll talk about that part anyway because I don't think anything happens in the room with her mom. Um, she runs into Benny, and Benny points out a weakness that he noticed in a game that she played before with someone. I don't remember his name. I think it was like Sam or Sunny. I don't know. It was with an S. I remember that. But anyway, it's not the point. The point was that Benny found a weakness in Beth's um, strategy and the way she played, and that kind of puts her in a spiral. And she's like, okay, I could have lost, and that's not okay. And she just, mm, she starts to lose confidence in herself, I think. And I think a really nice line that her mother said to her was when she was busy reading the books and trying to memorize everything. She realized her mother was like, sometimes you play best when it's all about instinct. And I thought that was really nice of her to like say to comfort her. Because sometimes, yeah, like you just have to trust yourself, and you can learn everything, but sometimes it won't help. And you just have to know yourself. I don't know, is that sounding like something? But I hope it sounds like something. But yeah, no. She plays her next game with someone. Baltic. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't the Russian. That was in episode 4. Baltic. So she plays Baltic, and it's like a really intense game. And like I said before, after hearing what Benny said to her, she like kind of loses confidence, and she loses the game. And this is really her big loss. And I called it in my previous prediction. Um, and she was like devastated, and she was really upset, and she just loses like motivation, and she's just, oh, it wasn't. So I'm just reading. It wasn't Baltic, it was Watts. She lost against Benny. Baltic is the guy that she could have lost against. Right. Okay, I'm remembering. Just remember what I just said and swap Sammy with Baltic and swap Baltic with Benny. So she lost against Benny, and obviously she's like devastated because this was her first. She didn't lose. I think they drew for first place, but she wanted to win, obviously. But this is her first kind of. This is from her streak of winning. This is her first sort of loss, and she was not like grand about it. But yeah, that's where the episode ends. She's like crying to her mom and telling her the story and what happened in a hotel restaurant. Now, the part that I kind of didn't talk about um, was her being interviewed by a journalist in her room. I absolutely love this moment because we kind of get the answer to the why that I wanted to get in the first and second episode. I'm happy that it's here, but she basically says the journalist um, talks about her being in an orphanage, and she says in a depressing place, feeling lonely, it was a distraction. And it was a distraction, like Beth playing chess was a distraction for her from again the lonely sad place that she was in as a child. And then she compares the chess pieces to a mother and father, someone that you have to protect and someone that attacks. And Beth is like, no, it's not that deep, they're just pieces. And she just kind of shrugs it off. And then I think the journalist asks, okay, then why didn't you play chess? And then Beth goes into explaining, and she says that the board. She first noticed the board and the 64 um blocks and the little world that it has created and the possibilities in it. And she says she feels safe in it. She can control it. She can dominate it, and it's predictable. So if she gets hurt, she can only blame herself. And I think it's a good enough reason for her to want and to keep playing the game. It's something it's a stability for her. She said it was predictable and she can control it when her life is full of these uncertain moments and people being unpredictable. Her mother, her father, her adoptive father. She has this constant in her life that she hasn't really had when she was growing up, as well as the drugs, the tranquilizers, her addiction. It also just seems like a constant in her life. But yeah, that was my favorite moment when she was having that talk with the reporter, somewhat in the interview. This whole episode, we got to hear the why, and we got to, what else did we get to do? Oh, we got to see her lose. I think I'm not as upset or um concerned. I wasn't as upset or concerned about her loss because we did see her in Paris in 1967. So a year from, oh, it was 63. You see, this is what happens when you don't pay attention or when you have other things on your mind. This episode was based in 63. And then it was 66 when we went to Las Vegas. But anyway, a year from then, from her loss, we're going to see her in Paris. So it's kind of like, okay, you're just going to get yourself back up, dust yourself off, and you're gonna make it to Paris. And I know that her dream is to make it to Russia and to play against the Russians because that's all they talk about as well in this episode. And she talks about learning Russian. She does in the fourth episode, and that's where we open in the fourth episode. And the fourth episode's name is Middle Game. What a transition. We're also still in 1966. We open with her in a Russian class with, not a Russian class, like she's learning Russian and with college students. And I think this is where so I watched a TikTok I watched a TikTok recently, and they in the TikTok they kind of talk about how in the 1960s the white woman was kind of going this through this sexual liberation, and I didn't know that, but now watching the show it kind of makes sense as to Beth's character and the, can I say, sexual desires that she's had. Yeah, I can. um so from after the Russian class she goes back to the the college, someone's home. I'm not gonna lie and be like, she went back to this college dorm room. It's someone's apartment. And at this time, I kind of feel like she's just taking a break. She's like, okay, let me put my chest brain on pause and just kind of be free and be in a somewhat of a slump and after my loss and kind of just have me time. Like was her way of kind of uh decompressing and feeling good about, like, finding a way to feel good about herself again. That's what I think. It may not have been that. But then after that whole montage and that whole sequence, she is in Mexico City, with her mother. And her mother has found a pen pal named Manuel. And just to get her story like quickly so we don't really talk about it, she's busy out with Manuel, like out in the town all night. They're spending so much time together, and she just seems happy and really free with him, and she's just having a good time, and we applaud her for that. During that time, Beth is busy playing tournaments, she's busy studying, practicing, also still having fun with her friends, the two twins that she met at the first tournament. But yeah, that's basically what happens in the beginning. And at Mexico, we are introduced to the Russian player, the older man that plays in Russia. And we see how kind of intimidating he looks. We first see him at the hotel with like his bodyguards or other men. I don't know who they were. And then we see him again when Beth is kind of like in this slump moment. When she's drinking, she stumbles upon the zoo and she sees him with his family. And I don't know if it's kind of a, oh, you can have downtime and you can have this like separate moment from chess, and it not be your whole entire life. Unlike some of us, where chess is our whole entire life, and us being so young. But I think he kind of has more to prove now. I don't know if they mention if he was like a grandmaster or something. Because obviously he's older and he's busy playing these children in chess who started playing when they were like 6 years old. So I don't know if he has more to prove or they have more to prove. Um, but she eavesdrops on the Russian man and his associates, and like from because she's been learning Russian, and what she from ah and what and from what she picked up, she hears them say that she is a survivor. But she's an orphan and a survivor like them, so she'll obviously do whatever it takes to win, and you shouldn't underestimate her, is what they say. Then we learned that Manuel abandons Mrs. Wheatley just as Mr. Wheatley did, and again we just shown how men just leave and don't. Yeah, just we just shown that men keep leaving and are not a constant in Beth's life. Not like Man Manuel was going to be a constant. I don't know. I thought he was just gonna be like a fling anyway, so I don't know why it was like a huge thing. I mean, she was devastated and she was having a good time and she was like kind of falling for him anyway. And she like thought, oh, we could have had a future. So I really can't fault her in that aspect. But then we cut to Beth playing the Russian man. What's his name? Bogov? Girl, I don't think that's right. But she plays him and she loses. And she was truly just upset about it. Um, and I'll talk about it at the end, but just like I'm remembering that game between them. So she loses, she goes back up to her room to tell her mom about it, and we find out that her mom has passed away. And at this point, I was like, okay, geez, I'm so sorry for calling her, for predicting that she would have been a stage mom when she was actually kind of a decent mother. Um, so RIP Mrs. Wheatley, you will be remembered. I felt very bad for Beth because now this is another mother another mother figure, just another mother that she's lost, like literally, that has died. And Mr. Wheatley was no help at all. She called him and she wanted to know what kind of arrangements she had to make, and he could care less. He didn't want to make the trip out to Mexico. He just gave her the house. He didn't even cry. He was like, "Oh, why are you bringing me into this mess?" I hope we never see him again. Then yeah, then Beth gets on a plane and she flies out back home. And now I'm thinking, is this an opportunity for Jolene to come back into her life? Seeing how she's going to be alone now and she's going to have this big house and she's graduated high school, so what else? Who else is she going to be around? So I hope Jolene comes back because I did miss her these 2 episodes. But what I wanted to mention, seeing how it's the end of the episode, I wanted to mention how I think it would have been really cool if this type of show was an anime. And if you've like watched any type of anime, you'll know how intense some like scenes can be. Specifically like with Death Note is how I kind of imagine the show would be paced out and the story being told. Like while they were playing chess, they have like these internal monologues, and they're like dramatic and theatrical, and they scream and they be like, "I'm gonna move the bishop into whatever square piece you move a bishop to," and then they'll be like, "And that way I can call checkmate," like that kind of like loud screaming anime type of vibe. I don't know. I just kept thinking about that while they're playing chess in this episode. Just how fun it would have been to have the internal monologues of like anime characters talk about it. Because I loved Death Note, and when Light was like strategizing while he was writing in the Death Note, I think it just made like it just brought it up to that kind of level of like intensity and like fun. So I think if this show was kind of put in that anime format, I think it would have been that level of fun as well and that like level of entertainment. Because right now I still don't know how to play chess. I do want to know how to play chess. And I think um yeah, I just think seeing how there's animes like Yuri on Ice, the one with the volleyball players that everyone loves. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sure there's going to be like intense moments of monologues when they like strike the ball um and like win against the other team. So that's literally what I thought about. How many times can I say that in like a breath? um, but yeah, I just think it would have been a cool time. I don't know if there is an anime out there that focuses on chess players. If there is, I would really like to know about it. Probably will look for it. Probably have like the same vibe as Boku no Hero, except it's just like in the mind and we're strategizing and thinking. Because then, like when they make moves, I'll be like, they move a chess piece. I'll be like, damn, that's a good move. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you made that move. Like that, those type of reactions. But those are the 2 episodes. We'll see what happens more in episode 5 and 6 and 7. But so far, these were kind of like tame for me. Like they weren't showstoppers of episodes, but they were still good. I still enjoyed them. I'll make sure to pay attention and to do a proper recap in the next coming episodes. I've been seeing that they like ships of Beth and Benny, so like as a prediction, I'm sure that's gonna happen. So I really can't be like it's a prediction because it's going to happen. I think a prediction is that it is going to be Benny in her bed in Paris. That's what I predict. Benny or Towns, because I think I remember seeing the guy had like dark brunette, dark hair. So between the two of them, I could be wrong about the dark hair. Jolene's obviously gonna come back. I've seen images of her. So I really can't make that a prediction. I think she's gonna get a job. That's a prediction. Because I don't know, can you live off just chess tournament winnings? So I think she's gonna get a job. I think so. Okay, starting from the beginning, I think we're gonna find out who the man is in the bed in Paris. I think she's gonna get a job. I think she's gonna make it to Russia. I don't know if it's, yeah, those are the three things because I can't think of anything else. But I'm looking forward to watching them and then talking about them. Um, Look out for my, not look out for, I hope you listen to what I watched this month episode because I would have put it out before this one. Um, I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to do that like every month as well because I watch a lot. I've already kind of started doing like a movie thing on my Instagram as well as I mean I've already started doing a letterboxed thing. I have to find ones that like really make me chuckle. Like the ones I posted already like really make me chuckle. But I also just want to collect them so I can just like put them out like spam. I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm getting hungry and a little irritable, so we're gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If not, cool. If so, cool. Um, like I said in the beginning, I hope you take care of yourselves. And I will see you in. I will see you. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.